Welcome to the City of Goldsboro. Do you know what's happening in your city? Today's focus is on the Downtown Development Corporation, Downtown Revitalization, and the StreetScape project. I'm Kim Best, Public Information Officer, and I hope you'll join us. Today I have with me Julie Thompson, Director of Downtown Development of the City of Goldsboro, and she's going to give us some information about how the StreetScape project and our downtown revitalization has affected our entire city. Hey Julie.
Hi Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here with us this morning, and I think the citizens of Goldsboro are excited to hear about how StreetScape is changing. It's changing the look, it's changing the feel, and we're bringing lots of new businesses and potential businesses down to Goldsboro. Can you tell me a little bit about the impact the StreetScape project has had on the city of Goldsboro at this point?
Well, already it started in mid-May, and we're in mid-July now. We already have received lots of, our property owners are declaring that they have had a lot more interest in properties that they currently have available. In fact, Larry Hill, who owns about 5 or 6 properties downtown, has said that he's had more phone calls received about his properties in the last month than he received in the last year and a half. So that's a good indication of what the project is doing for downtown as far as being an interest for investment and new business development. But also, we have a Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation has an economic restructuring committee made up of business owners and all throughout downtown that have an interest in helping create a business and a great business environment for downtown and climate for new business startups and businesses that want to relocate downtown. And so they have received 5 pre-business incentive grant applications in the last 3 weeks for businesses that want to open up on Center Street. And so that's great news. We're going to be reviewing the last of the 5 tomorrow, which will be 2 of them. 3 of them are restaurant-based businesses, and 2 of them are arts business-based businesses. So we're really excited about the increase that this, and all of it is relevant to the StreetScape project. So we're very happy.
And that's what I was going to ask. So tell me, why do you think so many businesses are all of a sudden, their interest is in downtown? Do you think it is because of the StreetScape project? And what does the StreetScape project bring for these new businesses?
Well, at least 2 of them have declared that the StreetScape project was instrumental in their decision to move downtown. One of them has been looking at a property on Center Street for over a year, but was not willing to sign a lease and make the commitment until they saw that the city was willing to do the same. So once the city broke ground on the StreetScape project, they began a negotiation with the property owner to sign a lease, and now it is signed for them to open November 1st. So I know that project specifically was related to the StreetScape project. And one other pre-application applicant also indicated that the StreetScape project was instrumental in her decision. She was looking at property in both New Bern and Goldsboro, and it was because of the StreetScape project that she chose Goldsboro over New Bern, which was interesting for us because you know, we've all coveted New Bern and the growth that they've had downtown in the last 20 years. So that's an exciting story for us.
Do you think because of the commitment of the council, city council, as well as just the citizens of Goldsboro, do you think that has something to do with long-term, the reasons that it's bringing these businesses downtown? Of course, you know, we're at phase 1 now.
Right.
We're in the middle of that with a completion date of October, and then we're looking to move forward. Tell me, what do you think is in the minds of these business owners of why they're looking at it as a long-term investment?
Well, I mean, I think when you have the city that was willing to make such an investment in an area, it shows long-term commitment to that area. I mean, you just don't make an investment of this magnitude and then walk away from it. Right. And so I think that speaks volumes to these business owners and property owners that are interested. And they also, I think, just very much like the design. I mean, it's much more supportive of the kind of atmosphere that they're looking for. It sets the space apart from any other area of the city. It's not your strip shopping center, it's not a mall, it's just very unique in its environment and in the atmosphere that it's creating. And so I think they very much like the design and what it will do for their businesses.
Well, can you tell us how not only does the StreetScape project and the revitalization of downtown, it increases the value of downtown, but tell us how it affects the entire city of Goldsboro.
Well, this is one of the things that I'd like for us to concentrate on in communicating to the public, because it's the same thing, the same reason that the city of Raleigh has spent so much time in their downtown, as much as many other cities across the state and the United States. It's because these kind of projects that are designed to be economic development engines for a community. And unless people understand that these projects increase the overall tax base and value for your community, and what that does, it leverages funds to be spent for services that they demand and are interested in having throughout their lives here in the city. And so instead of having to incur all that debt or that tax on one person, it creates more opportunities for the tax base to be spread out. So basically what Mitchell Silver, the planning director for the city of Raleigh, has said, fine, if you say no to these kind of projects that leverage new funds, then what you're saying is, yes, I want to bear the tax brunt of providing the services that I pay for now. And so what he says, you just need to be careful what you say no to, because if you're saying no to this, then you're saying yes to something else. And so this project was intended not necessarily to beautify downtown. Yes, that's a indirect benefit of the project, but it was intended to leverage public investment to increase private investment, which will increase our tax base and then also increase our value to the overall community and what we are able to provide for the community.
I think that's good to know. I think there's a lot of us that didn't have a total understanding of that and what the entire project brings to our city, as well as our county. Can you tell us a little bit about this new focus on the arts downtown Goldsboro?
Sure. Well, the arts are an interesting and ideal pairing for downtowns, and it's been a pairing that many downtowns across the United States have started to experience and started to work and strive for over the last decade, because what it does is it creates an opportunity for a departure from your traditional economic model. Traditional economic models rely on an area to provide jobs for workers. That's what has historically leveraged people to communities, is the availability of jobs. But in an arts-based community or an arts-based area coupled with a downtown revitalization initiative, what it does is it creates a unique space. And arts-based businesses and people that are interested in the arts, as well as the younger generations, particularly generations Y and Z, make their choices of where they want to live primarily based on quality of life and livability factors. And downtowns are inherent places for that. You know, the historic nature and the traditional design of a downtown, where you can work, live, and play all in one area, are inherent to those kind of qualities. And so it makes us a unique space to be able to kind of breed that arts-based business and culture in our downtown. And so Sarah Merritt and I are working closely together on several initiatives, and one of them we're just in the primary stages of, but we really want to build a cultural arts district downtown, not only one that is already kind of exists loosely with, you know, we have Stage Struck in the Paramount Theater and the Acme Theater and Top Hat Ballroom, but we want to have it visible when you come to downtown. We want to see public art and we want to see the facades of downtown properties and businesses demonstrate that love for the arts. And so we're creating ways, or we're hoping to create ways that will enable that.
Well, I hope that our citizens will see what we are bringing to downtown, what the downtown development is trying to bring to downtown in our entire city and for the citizens of Goldsboro. And give us a little bit of background about the capital improvement projects.
Well, we've done a lot of capital improvement projects over the last several years. Of course, the one that everybody is most familiar with right now, of course, is the StreetScape project. Right. But the city has really, since 2005, really gotten interested in downtown, and initially with the building of the City Hall Annex space. It was 30,000 square foot of first-class space that really kind of demonstrated, the mayor likes to say, demonstrated the city being able to put their money where their mouth is, and kind of set the barometer for what our expectations are. And then they also coupled that with the investment in the historic City Hall, and renovated it with sympathetic care to its historic integrity. And we're working with Union Station and the development of the transfer facility for Gateway, with our partners at the North Carolina Department of Transportation, with the Public Transit Division and the Rail Division, which would be a huge investment in our community, and one in which that we'd only have to put up 10 to 20% of the overall investment. Not only would it benefit that project benefit our direct community, but it would benefit the region as well. And of course, the Paramount Theater, it was a public-private partnership with Mr. David Wheel initiating that project and making that happen. So, and we're also working on developing Cornerstone Commons. Hopefully, if we're able to be successful in a grant that we're seeking right now, we'll be able to quadruple that space and make it a more usable space for the police fire complex, but also for the public. It'll have a lot more amenities and be more attractive space, and also host a city market, which would house the farmers market. So we're working on that project. And of course, we had the Veterans Memorial investment that they made in the community building space. So there's lots going on downtown. And they're all key anchor projects that we've been working on through the master plan for some time. And hoping to build an environment in which private investment wants to come to downtown and invest here and create business and make sustainable long-term businesses happen. So that's
Absolutely.
what we're all striving for.
Absolutely. If people are interested in finding out more about the StreetScape project or about investing in downtown Goldsboro, who would they contact?
Well, they could contact me at any time. Our office number is 919-735-4959. And they can come to our website, and the city has a link on their website to the
Absolutely.
DGDC website. And our staff would be happy to answer any questions that they might have and show them around. We have lots of properties that are still available, so anytime anybody's interested, feel free to call us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you do have questions or if you'd like additional information about the StreetScape project or downtown properties, look at these websites. On the city's website, we do have a StreetScape button. You're more than welcome to click on that, and it'll take you directly to other information about the project itself. Thank you so much for joining us.